The translation matrix crackled with static as the massive Yautja warrior's voice boomed across the communications array of the mining station, Kepler 442b. Commander Sarah Chen didn't flinch as the 8-foot-tall hunter materialized on the holographic display, his biomask gleaming with ancient symbols and fresh trophies. Humans of the metal nest. The Predator's voice rumbled through the universal translator, each word dripping with ceremonial weight. I am Thwaikti, elder of the Dark Blade clan. Your kind has trespassed upon sacred hunting grounds. The blood debt must be paid. The mining crew gathered behind Chen, their faces pale as they stared at the legendary hunter. Everyone in human space knew the stories. The Yautja were apex predators who had been hunting across the galaxy for millennia, collecting trophies from the deadliest prey they could find. Blood hunt is declared, Thwaikti continued, his mandibles clicking ominously. 3 cycles of your star. All humans on this world are marked for the hunt. There will be no escape, no mercy, only honor in death. The hologram flickered as the alien's massive form leaned closer, thermal vision scanning their terrified faces through the display. Prepare yourselves, soft meat. The hunt begins at— Wait, hold up, Chen interrupted, raising her hand like she was stopping traffic. The mining crew behind her gasped at her audacity. Did you say this was some kind of competition? The Predator's head tilted, mandibles twitching in what might have been confusion. Competition? This is sacred ritual, human. The hunt is— Right, the hunt. Chen nodded enthusiastically, pulling up her personal tablet. But you said 3 cycles, which I'm assuming means 3 days, and you're hunting all of us. So, what's the prize structure here? Thwaikti's biomask whirred as it refocused. In 300 years of hunting, no prey had ever asked about prizes. Prize structure? Well, yeah, Chen said, warming to the topic. I mean, if this is a competition, there's got to be scoring, right? Points for style, degree of difficulty, bonus rounds. And what does the winner get? The other miners exchanged glances. Jenkins, the newest crew member, whispered, Commander, I don't think you understand what's happening here. Oh, I understand. Perfectly, Chen replied cheerfully. We're being challenged to a hunting competition by what appears to be a highly advanced warrior culture. I'm just trying to understand the rules. She turned back to the increasingly bewildered Predator. For instance, are we hunting each other, or are we hunting something else? Because if it's each other, that seems kind of limited. I mean, you've got one big guy versus, 43 humans? The math doesn't work out great for a proper tournament bracket. Thwaikti's mandibles clicked rapidly. You do not fear death, human? Death? Chen laughed. Oh, buddy, you should see our safety statistics. We work in deep space mining. I've had 17 near-death experiences this month alone. Jenkins here got sucked out an airlock last Tuesday. She gestured to the pale miner who nodded reluctantly. But I got better, Jenkins added weakly. Exactly. Humans are basically death-proof at this point. So if death isn't really on the table, what are we actually competing for? Chen consulted her tablet again. Because I've got to tell you, our recreation budget is pretty thin this quarter, so a good competition would really boost morale. The Predator warrior stood motionless for several long moments. Through his biomask's display, he could see the human's heat signature. Steady, unafraid, genuinely curious. Behind her, the other humans were beginning to murmur among themselves, their fear transforming into something else entirely. You speak as if you would welcome the hunt, Thwaikti said slowly. Welcome it? I'm practically running it through Excel already, Chen replied, her fingers dancing across the tablet. Okay, so we've got 43 humans, various skill levels, experience ranging from has watched action movies to ex-military, and you've got how many hunters? I hunt alone. It is the way of the perfect 1 versus 43. Now for scoring, I'm thinking we go with a point system. Base points for survival time, bonus points for creative evasion, style points for particularly impressive escapes. She looked up brightly. What kind of weapons are we allowed to use? Thwaikti's mandibles had stopped clicking entirely. Weapons? Well, yeah, I mean, you've got that shoulder cannon and those wrist blades, plus I'm assuming some kind of cloaking device and probably other gear we can't see. What do we get to even the playing field? The prey does not arm itself, the predator said, sounding genuinely confused. The prey runs, the prey hides, the prey dies with honor. Chen blinked. Oh. Well, that's not much of a competition, is it? I mean, where's the sport in hunting unarmed opponents? That's not hunting, that's just picking on people. The temperature in the communications room seemed to drop several degrees. When Thwaite spoke again, his voice carried a dangerous edge. You question the honor of the hunt? I'm questioning the setup, Chen replied, completely unfazed. Look, I get it. You're this ancient warrior culture, very intimidating, lots of traditions. But if you want to call this a hunt, there should be at least some chance the prey could become the predator, right? Otherwise, it's just an execution with extra steps. She gestured to her crew. These people are miners, engineers, scientists. They're not warriors, but they're also not helpless. Give them some equipment, some time, to prepare. Maybe establish some ground rules, and now you've got yourself a proper challenge. Thwaite was silent for a full minute. When he finally spoke, his voice carried a note of something that might have been respect. And if I were to agree to these modifications to the sacred hunt? Chen grinned. Then we make it interesting. Winner takes all. You win, you get your trophies and whatever honor points this gets you with your clan. We win. She paused thoughtfully. Well, we get to keep living, plus bragging rights for being the first human mining crew to out-hunt a predator. And how would you propose to make this challenge fair? Chen's grin widened. Oh, I've got some ideas. Ever heard of paintball? 3 days later, Elder Thwaite of the Dark Blade clan stood in the center of the mining facility's main hangar, his biomask recording everything for the clan archives. Around him, 43 humans in improvised combat gear were celebrating their victory in the most elaborate game of laser tag the galaxy had ever seen. Commander Chen approached, carrying a trophy hastily welded together from spare mining equipment. Congratulations, she said, presenting it to the towering hunter. First place in the inaugural Kepler 442b tactical competition. 15 confirmed kills, 0 actual casualties, and some genuinely impressive stealth work. Thwaite accepted the trophy with something approaching reverence. This was unexpected. Good unexpected or bad unexpected. The predator's mandibles clicked in what his species considered laughter. When I return to the homeworld, the clan will demand to know of this paintball technique. You have given the hunt new meaning, human Chen. Sarah, she corrected. And, hey, if you guys ever want to set up a league, we know a lot of mining crews who could use the excitement. As Thwaite's ship departed, leaving behind a crew of very confused but oddly invigorated miners, Chen made a note in her log. Today we learned that sometimes the best way to survive a death hunt is to turn it into a team-building exercise. Recommend expanding recreational programs to include combat sports. Also, note to self, Jenkins is surprisingly good with a plasma rifle. The universe, it seemed, had a lot to learn about human ingenuity.